Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now. Let's dive into one of the most intriguing rumors circulating in NFL circles right now. Something that could have huge implications for the Commanders and the NFC East as a whole. It's about a potential blockbuster trade that has everyone's attention. The possibility of Trent Williams, the legendary left tackle of the San Francisco 49ers, making a surprising return to Washington. Yes, you heard that right. The prodigal son could be heading back home, and the buzz is getting louder by the day. So what's the story here? Well, the 49ers are reportedly in a total fire sale, especially with their current record of 4-6. It's not often you see a team with such a talented roster in this kind of situation, but injuries, inconsistent performances, and a tough schedule have pushed San Francisco into a corner. And in this context, Trent Williams, still arguably the best left tackle in the NFL at 37 years old, has become available for a surprisingly low price. The trade package, a first-round pick in the 2026 draft plus a fifth-rounder. That's a steal for a player of Williams' caliber, especially considering his elite performance metrics at this stage of his career. Now let's talk about why this makes sense for the Commanders. First, Trent Williams is not just an elite pass protector, the kind that can shut down any pass rush in the league. He's also a dominant run blocker. His ability to protect the blind side of a quarterback is absolutely top tier, with a PFF pass block grade of 95.8, which is first in the league. In fact, Williams has allowed 0 sacks in over 600 pass block snaps this season. That's almost unheard of in today's NFL, where sacks are part of the game. Not only does he give your quarterback a ton of extra time, but he also opens up lanes for your running backs, like Saquon Barkley, giving the offense a whole new dimension. Imagine how much this could boost the Commanders' offense. Sam Howell, who's been showing flashes of promise this season, would benefit immensely from having a veteran like Williams anchoring the line. Protecting Howell's blind side would dramatically reduce the sacks allowed, which currently sit at 42, an area that's been a concern for Washington. With Williams in the mix, projections suggest that sacks could plummet to under 25, and the time he spends in the pocket would increase by nearly a full second. That's huge for a young quarterback trying to develop consistency and confidence. But it's not just about protecting Howell. Williams' presence would energize the entire offensive line, giving the running game a real boost. His ability to create space and open holes for Barkley could turn Washington's rushing attack into one of the league's most dangerous. And let's not forget the mental boost that comes with adding a veteran leader who's been to Super Bowls and knows what it takes to win at the highest level. It's about bringing experience, leadership, and a winning mentality to a team that's hungry to take the next step. Now some might wonder about the financials or the cap space needed for such a move. Interestingly, the 49ers are motivated to move Williams, and the price isn't exorbitant. A first-round pick in 2026 plus a fifth might seem like a lot, but considering what Williams brings and the impact he could have, it's a steal. Plus, at 37, he still performs at an elite level, and his durability so far this season proves he's still got plenty left in the tank. The Commanders could see this as a short-term investment that could pay dividends immediately, especially if it means stabilizing one of the most critical spots on offense. Now, I know some fans might be hesitant about giving up a future first-rounder, but when you look at the potential gains, an upgraded offensive line, a more protected quarterback, a stronger rushing attack, it starts to make a lot of sense. If Washington manages to pull this off, it would send a clear message. They're all in for a playoff push and ready to compete with the best in the NFC. And let's be honest, having Trent Williams back in burgundy and gold would be a storybook ending, a return to the franchise he helped shape with his incredible talent and leadership. Of course, there are some hurdles. The 49ers might want a higher price, or there could be other teams interested in Williams. But with the right negotiations and a shared desire to make this happen, a reunion might just be in the cards. And for us, Commanders fans, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. We've seen what Williams can do on the field. Elite pass protection, game-changing blocks, and a relentless motor. He's a guy who commands respect and elevates everyone around him. And speaking of the NFC East, this move could have ripple effects across the division. Imagine the Commanders bolstering their offensive line significantly. Suddenly, they become a more formidable opponent for the Eagles and Cowboys. It could shift the power balance, making Washington a more serious contender in the playoff chase. Plus, having a familiar face in Williams back in the burgundy and gold locker room would boost morale and bring stability to a line that's been inconsistent at times this season. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the bigger picture for Washington this year. The Commanders have been showing flashes of promise, especially on offense, but consistency remains an issue. Howell is still developing, but with the right pieces around him, he could take a big leap. Adding a player of Williams' caliber could give him the protection and confidence he needs to unlock that next level. The defense has been solid at times, but to truly compete for a playoff spot, the offense needs to be more potent. And that's where Williams could be the spark that ignites the entire team. When you look at the current state of the NFC playoff picture, Washington is right on the edge, fighting for one of those wild card spots. A move like this, if it happens, would send a loud message to the rest of the league. The Commanders are all in and ready to make a run. It's about building a team that can not only make the playoffs, but also make noise once they get there. The NFC is tough, no doubt, but with Williams on the line, Washington's chances of pulling off a deep postseason run would skyrocket. Now let's touch on some of the stats that back up why Williams is still one of the best in the league. His PFF grade of 95, 8 for pass protection, is among the highest for tackles this season. No sacks allowed in over 600 pass block snaps. That's dominance. His run block grade of 92, 4 shows how effective he is in both aspects of blocking. These aren't just numbers. They're proof that Williams can still perform at an elite level, even at 37. For the Commanders, investing in a player like him isn't just about today, but about securing the future of the offensive line. But let's not forget the emotional and leadership value. Trent Williams has been with Washington before, and his return would be a massive morale booster. He's a guy who's seen it all, knows what it takes, and can be a locker room leader. In a season where young players are still trying to find their footing, having a veteran like Williams around to mentor and lead could make all the difference. He's a game changer both on and off the field. Now, of course, this is all speculation for now, but the signs are pointing towards a possible big move as the trade deadline approaches. The 49ers are clearly in a rebuild mode, and Williams is too valuable to keep on the bench or in the trade block for long. The Commanders, on the other hand, have the assets and the desire to make a splash. It's a storyline that would captivate the NFL world, and for us fans, it's the kind of move that could define a season. To wrap it up, if this trade comes to fruition, it could be one of the most impactful moves for Washington in recent years. A proven, elite left tackle returning to the burgundy and gold would not only bolster the line, but also send a message that the Commanders are serious about competing at the highest level. It's about building a team that can contend, that can protect its quarterback, and that can establish a dominant identity on offense. And for the fans, it's a story of redemption, of returning home, and of making history once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think a reunion with Trent Williams is possible, and would it make a difference for this team? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. Whether it's rumors, trades, or game analysis, we're here to keep you in the loop and fired up for the next chapter of this exciting season.